So, you want to kind of introduce yourself, even though I've already kind of done it?
Yeah, sure. Well, my name's Chuck Phillips, and I'm from Washington, North Carolina, right down the road. I actually went to school here at ECU.
When did you graduate?
Oh,
if you want to answer that.
I have to think about that. 2005.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
a long time ago.
Well, I mean, ECU's been here a while, though.
Yeah.
So just to kind of talk about the whole music industry thing, what kind of drew you to music to start with?
I don't know that anything. I never felt like a conscious that I was drawn to it. It just it was in my life since I can remember. My parents listened to a lot of music growing up. I had family members. Aunts gave me their old Beatles records when I was a little kid, when they would wear them out, and it resonated with me immediately. And I always had music playing. I was imitating Huey Lewis when I was 5 years old with my sport jacket and my microphone. It's just always been in a direction that felt natural to me.
What was like the first instrument that you played or learned?
That I actually took lessons and learned how to play was guitar.
Okay.
I mean, that's my instrument.
I know most people are either guitar or piano, and sometimes some people are drums. So
yeah, well, the first instrument I ever got was a drum set when I was 5 years old.
Okay.
But I didn't really know how to play it. But guitar is the first instrument I really learned how to play.
Okay, and you already kind of said like Huey Lewis and the Beatles. Do you have anybody who kind of like really sticks out as an artist or a band that inspired you?
Definitely the Beatles. I know that's probably cliche. Everybody says,
No.
Oh, the Beatles, yeah.
The guy that I co-wrote with, Jet Wilder, he's from Georgia. He's a huge Beatles. Paul McCartney, he even has the same kind of bass Paul McCartney has. I can't think of the brand.
Hofner.
But, okay, you know.
Hofner violin.
Yes, he has that kind of bass. I totally know what you mean by that.
Yeah.
So I have questions like in front of me, but it's just sometimes you just have to talk.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say there's a lot of stuff from that genre. I mean, the Beatles are my number one thing probably, and Paul McCartney. Just as a songwriter.
What's your favorite Beatles and like Paul McCartney song?
Whichever one's playing.
Whichever one's playing. I like for Beatles, I like Let It Be, and then I can't think of the name of it. Oh man, Come On Shoe Shine. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Shoe Shine.
I'm probably saying it wrong.
Oh,
you know,
Come Together.
Come Together, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I like those two. And then Band on the Run for Paul McCartney.
Band on the Run's a great one. The Beatles, if you put a gun to my head, maybe A Day in the Life would be my favorite song.
Okay.
It's a cool mix of Lennon and McCartney together.
Have you seen the James Corden carpool karaoke for Paul McCartney?
Oh, yeah.
I love that. That was, I don't know, it's just...
No, I'm a big... my parents took me to see Paul McCartney for my 21st birthday.
Oh, that's cool. Are you going to his concert?
I got tickets to the Raleigh concert.
Oh my gosh. I looked at tickets, like, for my birthday, but they were already being, like, resold at, like...
I know, it's crazy.
I could not pay that much.
I know. The only reason I was even able to get a ticket was a friend of mine had an American Express card that let me get access to the pre-sale tickets. And even then, it was almost impossible to get
and I
one.
know like City Card does it too, because I've done that with City Card. I mean, stuff like that. It really helps out. So I'm sitting here looking at your EP. So you want to kind of tell me what inspired you to write this? Where you recorded it? Did you have any co-writers? And like, I saw that you like recorded it in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Why New Jersey?
So what happened with the EP was, I've been writing songs for a long time, and Diamonds, actually, the song you just played, I wrote when I was going to school here at ECU.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a really old song. One of the first ones I really finished off.
Okay.
And this is the first thing I've ever recorded, so I had songs from throughout the years. It wasn't stuff I sat down and wrote in a month, you know.
Yeah, and personally, when I record, I like to record the stuff that I've had for like a year or more, because you know you like it.
You know you like it. You're more used to singing it. You've tested it out. You've played it a lot. Yeah.
Like I have recorded just like right after, like I remember the first time I recorded, like I needed like 4 songs to make an EP. So it's just like, I gotta write 4 songs to make an EP. and like 3 of the songs like were set in stone, and then one of them, I can't even think of the name of it, and I don't want to think of the name of it. So like, I understand why you recorded old songs. Like, I have nothing against that.
Yeah, they're not all old. I mean, a few of them were written in the months leading up to it. But,
Okay,
but
yeah.
they're spaced out over a period of years.
Yeah.
And I just didn't know how to go about. I had been working in the yachting industry for a few years. I got my captain's license and was
That's cool.
taking boats around, and I loved doing that. But there was just a draw to music. I kept coming back to it. And I decided I wanted to record some of my original songs. I had no idea how to go about doing that. And I actually sent Caroline Dare. Have you heard of her? She's an artist out of New Bern.
Yeah, I know her. She's actually in Greenville.
Oh, is she?
She's like, kind of like, I don't know her personally, but like I know her through mutual friends.
Yeah,
like New Year's Eve parties, stuff like that.
I don't really know her either, but I knew she had recorded some EPs, and she goes to Nashville a lot.
Yeah.
So I sent her a message and said, how do I go about recording my songs?
Yeah.
She said, the first thing you need to do is find a producer. and
That's like, it's harder on here, but not as hard as you would think.
Well, that was what set me off. I mean, that was great advice. That was the only thing she told me, and that got the wheels turning. I went on a website called Sound Better, where you can hook up with producers and musicians and stuff. And I found a producer in New York. The only reason I clicked on his picture was because he was with Paul McCartney.
Okay, so that works.
This is my guy.
Yeah.
So we communicated a little bit. I sent him some demos of my songs, and he said, yeah, I like these songs. I think we could do some good recordings of them. And he set everything up. He got the recording studio in New Jersey, so that's how that came about.
Yeah.
He hired session musicians to play the instruments that I couldn't play. And there's some amazing players on there. Larry Saltzman is playing guitars, and he's Simon and Garfunkel's touring guitar player.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird how you find producers. I have recorded with like 3 different producers. The first 2, I'm not going to say they were horrible, but I wouldn't probably record with them again. The third one, I'll even tell you his name, Donnie Burbage. He has recently moved to Asheville. I was going to record with him, but he's moved. But he was like a metal, like heavy metal bassist. And you would probably think, wow, he probably won't get your music right. But he was the only person that could. Some people just have the ear for it.
Yeah, that's true. Especially for a producer. I mean, a lot of them are used to producing lots of different kinds of music.
So the whole New Jersey thing, how long did it take you to record this album?
That was the bonus of having these session musicians who were pros. I sent them my demos, so they learned the songs, which was just me playing them on acoustic guitar. Okay. And we booked one day in the studio, and those guys came in. We had never played before. We had never met each other. We recorded all 6 songs in one day.
Oh my gosh.
The basic tracks for them.
Yeah.
Robert, the producer, and I took a few more days in his personal studio doing vocals and adding harmonies and putting little touches in the background. But the basic rhythm tracks, the band tracks, were all recorded in one afternoon, really.
That's really cool.
7 or 8 hours.
Like, the last song I recorded, I know, like I had studio musicians. I had a bassist and a drummer, but I recorded the guitar and the vocals. Like, I did it in an afternoon too. The first time I recorded ever, I like recorded that EP for 4 songs, and I did those 4 songs in maybe 3 hours. And I promised myself I would never do that again, because I was like 14, and I'm gonna say the guy did not have much patience with a 14-year-old girl, and I didn't have much patience with him.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is a learning process, and probably I would reach out to someone like you did, but like I was younger, didn't really know how to reach out, you know. But I think you definitely did the smart thing instead of having to learn the hard way like I've done.
I mean, I don't know. Had Caroline not just told me that one little piece of you need to find a producer, I don't know where. I wouldn't have known where to start. You know, you can't really call a studio and say.
Yeah, like you can find studios, but even sometimes they don't have producers at the studio. Because like there's one local in Greenville. It's called, or outside of Greenville, it is called, not Palm Springs, Rock Springs Recordings, and it is right outside of Greenville. Towards Rock Springs, obviously, and they don't really have an in-house producer. They just kind of rent out the studio to people. So around here in like North Carolina, it's hard to find a producer.
Yeah, it's tough.
Especially somebody who knows what they're doing.
Yeah, that's why I went to New York.
So you want to kind of explain your creative process, like how you actually wrote these songs. And if you are just tuning in now, I am interviewing Chuck Phillips on WZMB 91.3 FM Greenville, and it is 4 o'clock. Got to get that legal ID in there. Sorry to kind of interrupt this. So like I was saying, your creative process. So when you write a song, do you start with lyrics or the guitar? Do you start with the chorus? Do you start with a verse?
Yeah, that changes, I guess, a little bit from time to time. Usually I just sit down with my guitar and start playing some old songs, old Beatles songs, or
oh, that's cool.
Stones, and just eventually something will start to come out of that. I'll find some chords that I like. Or,
yeah.
It gets the wheels turning. Usually the guitar and the lyrics kind of come at the same time for me.
Yeah. Like, I used to, like, I've been writing songs probably since I was like 10, 12. So I used to write, I would sit down with my guitar, play chords that I knew, not that many chords that I knew. I still don't know a whole lot of chords, but I have a capo, so it works.
There you go.
That's a really bad mic stand. I'm sorry.
I'm struggling with it. Okay, I think I got it now.
So, and I used to come up with chord progressions and then kind of go from there. But now, like, I find myself, like, one of the songs that I recently finished, I started writing it when I was still in high school. And, like, I was sitting in chapel. I went to a religious high school. And I just had senior pictures. And, you know, most girls wear pearls during their senior pictures. And all of my pearls were broken. And so I was sitting in chapel, bored, really bored. I know that sounds awful. But I was like broken pearls. And, like, it started coming to me. So now, like, now I kind of write more like that. And, like, I have notes on my phone. So that way it's saved.
I have a ton of notes on my phone.
Yeah, I feel like everybody
kinda,
does.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because if you write it down on paper, you may lose it.
Yeah, I like to record a little snippet if I have an idea onto my phone, which is kind of a double-edged sword, I guess, because I remember the idea, but I hardly ever come back and finish it. Whereas if I didn't have the phone and I had to sit down and finish it right then, it's easier for me to finish a song in one sitting. If I can stick with the patience and just while I'm feeling it, finish it. Because if I write a verse or two and think, well, I'll come back to it, I never come back to it.
Like, I think I've done this just once or twice, just kind of done a clean out of the notes on my phone and put a couple of notes together, you know, and it's worked. I mean, most of the time it doesn't end up working, but sometimes it does.
Yeah.
I feel like it is a different process for everyone, and some people are like, you have to do it this way, and honestly,
you got to find what works best for you.
Exactly. You can't tell somebody this is the only way to write songs, this is the correct way to write songs. It's music. Like, music is something that's not supposed to be restrained.
Yeah.
I feel like. So what is your favorite part about this line of work, and what's your least favorite?
My favorite part, I love finishing a song and
having that accomplishment.
It's like, this song didn't exist an hour ago, and now it exists.
Yeah.
And if it's a good song that I'm proud of, you know, I love getting to play it for people.
What about playing it for the first time?
I'm excited.
You either love it or you hate it.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
You are?
I love playing it for the first time in front of people. If it's a song that I feel like I'm proud of, I can't wait to play it in front of people.
Yeah.
But the flip side of that is also the thing I hate. It's
What?
my least favorite thing about it, which is, you know, most of these songs, or the way I write, they're pretty personal about things in your private life.
Yeah.
And now you're having to play that in front of a bunch of strangers and have them judge, or kind of have an insight into your life and what you're going through, and judge you. Did you
ever write during high school or not?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, see, I wrote a lot during high school. I had a music video come out, and like my songs were on Reverb Nation, and of course your classmates find out about it, and they're just like, that song must be about him. It must be about this. And I'm just like, maybe it's not. I can just write about whatever.
I know. Well, some of my songs, they might sound like they're about something, but I really just made them up.
Yes, exactly. And some people can't get past that. You're just like, I swear, it's not about you or not about him.
No,
Like
they want to connect it to something. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's natural. Diamonds that you played, that was just I just made that song up. That's not about anything. Everybody thinks it's about proposing to a girl because the line, "Let the diamonds be the surprise."
Oh, okay. I didn't even catch it that way.
Yeah, but
I can see that now.
some of the songs are definitely about people and things I've gone through, but some of them are just songs.
Yeah. I mean, I think you do have songs that you have to write about personal experiences, and then you have some that are just like fun songs that are just story songs is what they would call out in Nashville.
Yeah. That's William Tell, the first song on the record, is kind of just, I don't know if you're familiar with the story of William Tell. It's like a famous folk story about the famous archer that had to split the
Like
apple
the
off
William
the top
Tell
of his son's
overture.
head.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the idea for that song, just about like what's doing what's right and treating other people well, but it's not really about anybody or anything in particular.
Exactly. Like I wrote a wedding song about a year or so ago with my co-writer. I'm not married. I mean, you have to take songs with a grain of salt, especially when you're actually talking to the songwriter.
Yeah.
Especially if you know them personally.
Well, hopefully you write something that people connect to.
Exactly.
And feel something about.
Yeah. That's what probably is my favorite part about this line of work. There was one song that it's called Out of Here, and it was about like leaving your home to pursue your dream. And it just, that one kind of connects with people a lot. When I was playing it. And that was just because people will tell you like their personal story, and you're able to connect to them on a personal level. And I mean, that's really cool, just kind of being able to open up to a songwriter like, hey, this is my life.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, it's also kind of, for me, if I'm writing a song about something personal, it's very much like therapy. For me, to write about it and like get it out that way, to talk about it without having to sit down with somebody and say, this is what I'm going through.
Yeah. Like with me, if I am mad about something or frustrated, I cannot write a song about the situation, or it's gonna be this really bad, angry song. I just have to, like, I literally have to simmer for like 3 months or 2 months and process it in order to write the song that's actually, that you can actually listen to.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What advice would you have for someone wanting to do this?
Don't give up. I know that's probably what everybody says, but I hear it so many times, and it's so true. It's like, I've noticed putting out this EP, because music's, performing music or making money off of music as a profession has always kind of been on the fringe of my life. I've had day jobs. I worked in yachting, as I said.
Have you ever met Jimmy Buffett? You said you're from Washington. You worked in yachting.
I actually have met Jimmy Buffett.
You have? Did you meet him in Washington?
I met him in Washington one day.
Oh my gosh, that's really cool.
I have a great picture with him.
Because whenever he comes to Washington, it always makes the news. Like, he's at Backwater Jack's.
That's where I met him.
That's where you met him?
That's where I met him.
Yeah, and when you said you worked in yachting, I was like, I wonder if he made Jimmy Buffett's yacht. You know?
No. I went and toured his boat one day out at the Pacific
cool.
Seacraft Factory. And yeah, I did get to meet him very briefly.
Has his boat ever been finished? Like, it's been a couple of years.
Oh yeah, it's finished.
Finished?
He's sailing it through the Bahamas right now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. To be Jimmy Buffett.
But
what were you even talking
your
about?
question about my advice, now that I've really started pursuing music, I'm not doing the yachting thing anymore. I don't really have a day job at this point. I'm playing live every weekend somewhere. I'm trying to put together a little tour to promote this record.
Oh, that's cool.
But I've just started to find, like, if you just keep pushing and playing and working at it, like, things start happening. This, I got this connection, and I've got some other. It starts to come together. But if you think, well, nothing's happening with this, I'm going to go back to, then nothing's going to happen with it.
It's really hard to do.
It's super
for me,
hard.
it's gotten easier in college because like I only have 2 classes or one class, and I'm able to send out emails, call people, and like I got this job. That's one of the reasons I got this job. Yeah, I enjoy radio a lot, but also just being able to connect with other singer-songwriters, being able to promote singer-songwriters at the same time. I'm also kind of promoting myself, and then also I have actually got connected with some managers and promoters. So I mean, there's always a way to do it, And my philosophy is, if it's meant to happen, it's going to happen no matter where you are.
Yeah.
Like, that may sound crazy. Some people are probably, like, cutting off their radio right now. Like, she's crazy. But, I mean, I'm just one of those people.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I've heard that if you're making good music, even if you're not big right now,
Mm-hmm.
that eventually the right people are going to hear it.
Yeah.
It's going to get to the right ears
Mm-hmm.
if you're making honest, good music.
And that's why I've been to Nashville a few times, and I always get so excited when I go to Nashville. And I've got to play 2 shows at the Bluebird. I don't know if you know what the Bluebird is. Okay, you know what the Bluebird is. They're female singer-songwriter shows. And whenever I go out to Nashville, that's probably when I feel the most excited, because people go there to actually listen to music, and I'm just like, if the right person can just hear this song.
That's all it takes.
I mean, you're literally praying and hoping. You're like, I have 4 songs to play. I have to put my best foot forward. I can't mess up. This could be the moment.
Yeah.
And I mean, you kind of have to just do that every time.
Yep. You just have to keep doing it and doing it and doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was, you know.
So right now you are a musician.
That's correct.
You've already kind of told like what you did, but like if you weren't a musician, if you'd never done music at all, what do you think you'd be doing right now?
I'd probably be on a boat somewhere.
On a boat.
I'd probably still be doing the yachting thing.
I mean that's not a bad job.
That's my second passion. I mean, I grew up on the water.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have a sailboat. I've helped people deliver sailboats down to the Bahamas a lot.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it was great. But that's what kind of got me into yachting and doing it professionally and getting a captain's license and all that stuff. So I sold real estate for a little while. That just wasn't my personality. I couldn't do the salesman aspect.
Yeah. And then I feel like, I don't know, the yachting, I don't really know exactly what entails of it, but you're like outside.
Yeah, you're outside.
On the boat.
I still got to play some music here and there.
Yeah.
Depending on where we were traveling, I had a guitar on the boat, so it was a nice mix of the two. And it gave me a lot of time to songwrite.
Sorry, the music was running out. What do you think is the best song you have ever, like, put out there, released, or just written?
That I put out?
Yeah. Or either just like one that you haven't recorded yet.
Yeah, probably one I haven't recorded yet that I just wrote in the past month or so. There's 2 actually that I'm really, really liking right now. One's called Firefly. I think it's probably one of the strongest things I've written. And one's called Ain't Got Time, which I'm actually hoping is going to be my next single coming out
that's cool.
in the next month or 2.
So what genre would you consider yourself?
I guess indie folk.
Indie folk? Like,
I have a hard time with that.
When I had to put your music in the system, I was just like, I think he's folk.
I just got there's a website called Divide and Conquer that reviews independent music albums.
That's cool.
And yeah, they just put out a review on Tragic Beauty Friday.
Oh.
The 4 out of 5 star review.
That's good.
And it was like a nice 5-paragraph review, you know, really going into. But the guy compared my music to a mix between Tom Petty and the War on Drugs.
What?
Yeah, I was like, I can definitely see the Tom Petty comparison.
War on Drugs, like.
I don't see the War on Drugs comparison at all.
No.
I love the War on Drugs, but I don't think my stuff sounds like the War on Drugs.
No, like. No, I don't hear that. No, I just don't hear that.
I'll take it though.
Have you ever had like playing these open mics and stuff? I remember I was at. Have you ever heard of Centurines in Aden?
In Aden, yeah.
I remember I played a show there. I didn't play a show. I was doing an open mic there, and I played a song. And afterwards, there was this old lady who had obviously had a couple glasses of wine. She was really nice. And she was like, I'm pretty sure this is what she was. She was like, you sound just like Janis Joplin. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't think so. And like, I had played Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. I remember. And I was just like, how does she get Janis Joplin out of that?
Well, hey, that's a compliment.
Yeah. But it makes you wonder, like, how these people hear certain elements that you don't hear.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder, do these people know anything about music?
Exactly. And you're just kind of like, okay. Like, I feel like the hardest thing as being a teenage girl who's a singer-songwriter is they're just like, wow, you're just like Taylor Swift. And you're just like, wow, no. Like, and you don't want to be ugly. And at the same time, like, I remember somebody asked me for a TV interview, like, who do you want to be like? And I remember, because it was an interview, and it was like, you had to, like, answer right then. I was like, Taylor Swift, and I was just like, why did I do that to myself?
I love Taylor Swift.
Like,
I think she's an amazing songwriter.
But, like, the old Taylor Swift, you know?
Yeah, I have to admit, I haven't listened to her new stuff, but...
Like, I have to admit, I like the old Taylor Swift, but is there... Like, Taylor Swift's kind of the one most people compared female singer-songwriters to. Is there just kind of, like... Have you noticed a guy singer-songwriter that usually...
Yeah, who does somebody tell me I sound like?
Like, I feel like there's just a label. People are just like, Taylor Swift. Or either like Phoebe from Friends.
Yeah. I think somebody said Lord Huron, which I've heard of.
Oh, that's really bad. That's the next song I'm gonna play.
Yeah, I don't really know his... I've heard of him. I've heard his song on the radio or whatever, but honestly...
They kind of rose to fame. This song that I like, it was in... that TV show 13 Reasons Why. They'd already released it, but then it was like released on the show, so that's kind of how they rose to fame. I can kind of hear that.
I don't know. I don't really know their music, but
they're folk. So.
Yeah, a lot of people say Tom Petty. Not that that's something new, but
yeah,
I can see that. Some of my stuff has harmonica in it.
I can see
my
that.
voice kind of has that sound to it, I guess. Plus, it's a lot of acoustic rock type songs.
Let me see what other questions I've got. If you could collaborate with anyone, who would you collaborate with?
That's a good question.
Are you gonna say Paul McCartney?
Well, I have to. I have dreams that I'm sitting around writing songs with Paul McCartney on the guitars.
Yeah.
And we're best friends. Do you familiar with Dawes, the band Dawes? Taylor Goldsmith.
I've heard of them.
They're a newer band.
Yeah, I've heard of them. I can't like think of their music exactly. Like I can't name a song, but I've heard of them.
Yeah, I think Taylor Goldsmith is just one of the best songwriters writing songs right now. New music. His lyrics are amazing. I would love to collaborate with him.
Have you ever heard of Vampire Weekend?
I've heard of them.
I would probably say I would love to write with I think his name's Eli from out of that group, because they're really abstract with their lyrics, or either Chris Martin from Coldplay.
Yeah. Have you seen that new Coldplay documentary?
No, I want to.
Oh, it's incredible.
I want to so much. What's your favorite Coldplay song?
I like Talk. X and Y is my favorite Coldplay album.
Okay.
Which is strange watching this documentary, because Chris Martin was saying that's his least favorite album. He was in a really dark place, but
yeah.
I don't think there's a bad song on that whole record.
No, it wasn't the one he wrote for his wife on there too. Fix You.
Yeah, that was on there.
My favorite's probably my favorite song by them is Viva La Vida.
Yeah, Viva La Vida's great. Yeah. Green Eyes, I love.
I like, and then there's like Yellow.
Yeah, Yellow's classic.
Princess of China, and then there was like their Ghost Stories album that kind of like got totally. Everybody just looked over it, kind of.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about that. There's one song on that record towards the end called Midnight.
Okay, yeah.
It doesn't even really have lyrics. It's kind of like a haunting chant going on in the background. I love that song.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think. There's one. I can't think of the name of it from the album that I like, but I really like their newest album, Adventure of a Life. I'm probably saying it wrong. Is it Adventure of a Lifetime or not? Or is that the song?
Yeah, I think that might have been the song.
But I like that album. They have like a lot of.
Yeah, I haven't listened to much of their new album, actually.
It's from like 2016. It's kind of weird, but I mean.
Head Full of Dreams is the name of it, I think.
Head Full of Dreams, that's what it is. If your fans could only remember like one thing about you, what would you want it to be?
That I was a good songwriter.
Definitely. That's
what I'm most concerned about. I mean, I don't have a great voice like the voice you would hear on American Idol or something like that. It
sounded good.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying I can't sing, but there's a difference between, like, my voice works for my music, but I don't have a voice that I could go on American Idol or The Voice and people are going to be like, holy, like, that guy can sing. Yeah. I just don't have that voice. My voice works for me for what I want to do.
But when you think about it, most artists that are, like, out there making it don't really have that. I mean, like, there's Marye Carey, but they don't really have. They're like what you're saying. Their voice works for their music.
Yeah.
Like when you kind of like step back and think about it.
Yeah.
But.
So asking what I want to be remembered for. I would never. Nobody would ever say he's the best singer ever. But I would like to think that people would say he wrote great songs.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I was actually just thinking about that the other day, just being able to connect with people through music.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just, if that's not your goal as a songwriter, why are you writing songs?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of, yeah.
I agree.
And last question, not last song. Oh, where's my mind at? If you had one message to give your fans, what would it be?
Just keep listening and supporting my music and local music and these artists that are trying to make it without a big record deal. You know, it makes such a difference when you play a show somewhere locally and your fans come and support you, and are just having people there in the room.
Definitely
Makes the show more exciting. It makes you play better.
And what I've discovered is, you're from Washington. Washington is a wonderful place for local music.
Yeah.
It's better than Greenville.
I don't know.
Well, personally, they have more. I feel like they've had more opportunities. They've really tried to engage the music community there, especially when they did music in the streets.
Yeah, music in the streets was great. I wish, Greenville has an open mic night almost every night at some different place.
True. It's gotten better around here.
Well, Washington, we have one at Backwater Jack's, which is a great open mic night.
Yeah.
But it's just not a lot, that's about it as far as the...
Like, I always liked playing in Washington because I felt like people actually listened.
That's what I'm getting more concerned with. I had a cover band before I started doing my solo thing called Caps. We used to play in Greenville a lot, and people listen, but they just want to drink and sing a song that they know and dance.
Exactly.
Now that I'm playing my original songs, it's way more important to me. I want to play in places that people are interested in music and are like listening to the music and saying, "Oh wow, I like that song."
Somebody needs to open a listening room.
I agree. I think it'd be great.
I think it would have a lot of draw. Like the ones in other cities, like I know Nashville's full of them. People sit down and they don't talk. It's wonderful. It's quiet. It's quiet. People actually listen. They may not be paying attention, but at least they're quiet. There's really an open market for that right now, I feel like, around here.
Summer is kind of doing that with her open mic night at Pitt Street, where it's in the back.
Yeah.
It's separate from the bar up front where everybody's hanging out and drinking. They have seats set up right in front of the area. Oh, you've been there.
Yeah.
And people really kind of sit and listen and pay attention to what you're doing.
Yeah, because I feel like maybe a lot of open mics are in restaurants, and maybe that aspect kind of does distract people in a way. Like you said, right there, the chairs are just set up and they can go get a drink at the front and come back if they want to.
And it's quiet back there usually. Whereas when you're in the bar atmosphere and everybody's ordering drinks and they're talking with their friends, the music becomes
to the glass in the background. Yeah.
The music becomes background noise.
Yeah. Okay, so that was like a really nice 30-minute interview. So I'm gonna play a Lord Huron song. I probably said it wrong. The Night We Met, and then Chuck is going to play one of his new songs, right?
Yeah, I'll play something that I just wrote the other day.
And it's going to be live in studio. So make sure to stick around to the Songwriter Series on WZMB 91.3 FM Greenville.
This is a song I just wrote a few days ago. It's called Take Me Home. I think it'll be pretty self-explanatory.
This is clean, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I just asked him, was it a clean song? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's clean.
Oh, man.
Hopefully it'll be on my...
Public radio.
I'm working on songs for my next EP, or maybe full album.
Are you going to go to New Jersey to do it?
I don't know. I've kind of got a studio set up at my house now that I've been recording in. And if I got some good tracks recorded there, I'd probably send them to my producer in New York for him to mix them and master them. But
oh, yeah.
I don't know if I have the money right now to go back to do the whole studio thing.
I'm saving up money to record.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So yeah, this is called Take Me Home. Hopefully it'll be out on my next release sometime this year.
Oh wait, I'm gonna Instagram live this. So you can kind of see it. Let me get my Instagram up. I totally forgot about it. Okay. Okay.
Oh yeah. Ready?
Okay.
She stands in the shadows at the end of the road, wondering if it's worth coming home. I always knew we'd even the score, and I'm feeling now what she felt before. Maybe she's just another sucker from Jesus, arms open wide, waiting to be given a sign. I wanna know all of the secrets she knows. I wanna be the light at the end of her night. So take me home. I've tried to deny, but I just can't fight. You're the only love I've ever known. Take me home. You can call anytime, 'cause I spend all my nights drinking by the telephone. Take me home. Yeah, maybe she's just another sucker for Jesus, arms open wide, waiting to be given a sign. We could spend our nights dancing to the radio, Bonnie and Clyde, partners in a love of crime. So take me home. I'll sing all the songs that once made you fall in love with me years ago. Take me home. I'll tell you jokes in my dreams just to save me from scenes of laughter in an empty home. Take me home. Take me home.
Chuck Phillips, everybody. That was really good.
Oh, thank you.
I wasn't like, it's just different to hear music played live.
Yeah,
You know?
felt weird to sing it in that microphone.
Yeah, it is really. It's weird. Yeah, because you're kind of like hunched over, you're trying to sing and not get too much guitar. So do you have any upcoming shows in the area, or?
Yes. I'm playing in Carborough next weekend in Chapel Hill at Second Wind. Not that that's really in the area, but the next thing really close by is Backwater Jacks in Washington. That's on March the 9th. It's a Saturday night, I believe.
Okay.
And I try to go out to the open mic night in Greenville on Thursday at Pitt Street every week and play a couple of original songs there just to try to get my music out and let people hear it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the hardest part, just getting people to listen. I was gonna ask you another question. Oh, where is your music available?
Yeah, so the Tragic Beauty EP that you played a song off of earlier is available on all the streaming apps: Spotify, Apple Music,
Okay.
Amazon, Google, Napster, ones that I've never even heard of. So I think I'm the only Chuck Phillips on there, actually. So
Yeah.
you can just type in Chuck Phillips or Tragic Beauty, and
in our system, you are known as Charles Phillips.
well, that's actually my real name.
Yeah. Social medias for you.
Yeah. Chuck Phillips Music is pretty much everything. If you type in Chuck Phillips Music on
Okay.
Instagram, it'll pull up my profile. If you type in Chuck Phillips Music on Facebook, it'll pull it up. My website is chuckphillipsmusic.com. YouTube, I have a YouTube channel with some live performances on there and things like that. Some alternate versions of songs that are on my EP that I do acoustically. And that's also Chuck Phillips Music. So, pretty simple.
Well,
But yeah, please give me a follow on Instagram to keep up with the new music and where I'm playing next. And
so Chuck Phillips, everybody. That was about an hour on air.
woo!
Yeah, that was a nice in-studio interview. Definitely, he just told you social medias. If you want to, go check that out. Listen to hear more of his music on streaming platforms, everything. I know he has a Facebook page. I tagged him in it. So Chuck Phillips, everybody. I hope once you record your new EP or new songs, you will stop by or send them over.
I'd love to do that.
And now we're going to get back to the music. This next one is Interpol, Fine Mess, and Greta Van Fleet with Black Smoke Rising.